All right, we are live on the Coach Eli television network. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here tonight live on this Friday evening. It is Friday, November 5th, 2021. If you're here watching live, welcome to the show. If you're watching on the replay, hey, tremendous replay value. I create evergreen content throughout most of my live streams, including this one. So stick around for the entire show. I have some very, very interesting and crazy dating stories to share with you folks. But before we get to all of that and the monologue here, let me first of all make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out. And it looks like it absolutely has. Let me also check out the back end of all three platforms where we're streaming on. Make sure everything is rolling smoothly. It looks like YouTube is rolling smoothly on the back end. Facebook seems to be rolling well. Let's see. Am I able to stop the Facebook? No, I'm not. It's all good. Show a little preview on the new Facebook Live dashboard. And D-Live. Facebook and D-Live are both rolling smoothly. All right. Looks like we are good to go. All right, folks. Good evening to everybody. Unless you're watching on the replay, good day to you regardless of when you're watching this. Let me make you all aware of something new I'm going to be doing here on this channel every so often. I've been mentioning this on my Walking with Purpose live streams that I do, on most days here on this channel, well, on my YouTube channel at least. If you're watching on Facebook and D-Live, you're going to have to subscribe to my YouTube channel to watch the mobile live streams, and the link to my YouTube channel is in the description section and in the chat of D-Live. But I'm going to be doing crazy dating stories on any given day when I'm not overwhelmed or I'm not too tired or have too many other things going on. And I'm doing that because there are a lot of stories that people are sharing on the internet, primarily Reddit and maybe some other forums and blog postings. And these people really, really need a lot of help. And a lot of these stories end up being redundant. They're posted by, different people in different ways, but they all pretty much lead back to the same thing. And the reason why I'm going to continue hitting this hard is because repetition is the mother of skill. And the more and more you hear the same things over and over again throughout many various, stories, the more it's going to, become instilled in your brain, and it's going to become instinctual, and you're going to learn how to handle these things better in the future. So that way you can actually get the girl, or if you're a girl that's pursuing a guy, which it should be the girl pursuing the guy, but typically it's the guys pursuing the women. If you're a girl that wants to ask a guy out, which is much more rare than the guy asking women out, you can get the guy too. So that's what it's all about. So with that being said, let's just get over to the browser screen and let's get things started. Oh, but first, I need to make you folks aware of my brand new subreddit that I started about 2 months ago or so. That's on the screen right now. It's the Genuine Emotional Support Group for men and women. I started this subreddit primarily to give men the emotional support that they're not getting from anyone. Women get emotional support from other women. Whenever a woman goes through issues, she can go to her friends and say, hey, I'm not feeling that great. And then the woman friend will say, oh, what's going on, girl? Tell me what's going on. Well, my guy's been doing this and that, or my guy broke up with me, blah, blah, blah. Oh, girl, tell me all about it. You want to meet up for a drink, girl, or hang out tonight or whatever, right? Women are very supportive towards each other emotionally. But when a man goes to his guy friends for emotional support after going through something similar like a breakup or issues in the relationship, guys go, come on, dude, suck it up, man. You're a man. Take it like a man. Men don't behave this way, right? You can take it, dude. Just move on and find someone else. Well, that's actually what you're supposed to do. It's just that men don't really support guys emotionally in the right way. We still need that support. We still need to hear from our guy friends, hey, dude, yeah, sorry that you went through that, man, or you're going through that. Whatever you need, bro, I'm here for you. Yeah, let me help you get through this so you can put yourself out there and really find someone that you truly care about and that cares about you. So that's why I started this group. But I didn't want to only primarily cater it to men. I wanted to cater it to women as well because I want both men and women to communicate in this forum, really learn from each other, and learn to, start bringing things back together again. There's so much segregation nowadays when it comes to men and women. I did not want to, it's what I'm trying to say, I did not want to further segregate men and women. I wanted to create this group so we can bring men and women back together, and that way everyone can live happily ever after, right? That's the dream, right? That's the dream. So if you want to join this group, it's the link is in the description of YouTube, a little bit, down from the top. Now I'm going to share the link right now in the YouTube chat, and I just shared it in the YouTube chat. I'm also going to share it in the Facebook comment section /chat. And over on DLive, it's still there at the very bottom, www.reddit.com/r/real emotional support. Or just come on to Reddit and search real emotional support. We have 21 brothers and sisters. Well, we did have 22. We did have 22, but it looks like somebody left the group because they probably weren't there for the right reasons. That's okay. You did us a favor. Let me turn off the chat real quick and just share with you folks the purpose, and what we can talk about in this group. Community topics as shown right there at the top right. We have men's health, relationship advice, women's health, U.S. politics, entrepreneurship, plus 6 more. Careers, self-employment, self-help, politics, dating, business, economics, and finance. Or anything else that you'd like to discuss that involves, your life, because that's what I do. I'm a life coach. I'm a business and personal success coach, relationship coach / life coach. And we can talk about anything and everything in here as long as you are legit. I only have one rule for the group, which is, where is that darn rule? There it is. One rule. No trolling, no attacking, no hate. There will be no trolling allowed in this group. Additionally, no hate will be allowed. All postings need to be created in the most professional, respectful, and mature ways. This is a zero tolerance policy. The first time you violate this rule will result in being permanently banned. This is an emotional support group to uplift people, not put them in a worse state than before joining this group. One more time, www.reddit.com/r/real emotional support. The genuine emotional support group for men and women on Reddit is the place you want to be, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. I'd be happy to also take topic requests for my videos on YouTube, and even when I simulcast these streams on Facebook and DLive, you can request your topics in the group, and I will get to them as soon as possible. All right, let's turn on the chat before I forget to do that, and let's get to the rest of the show. All right. So, the first crazy dating story I'm going to go over, and I call these crazy dating stories because, these are a bunch of people, primarily younger folks in their 20s and 30s, but this also includes some people in their 40s and 50s. These are people that are just lost and confused, and they really want to find true love, and they've tried to put themselves out there and find true love, but they just can't, get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and they're just wondering what they're doing wrong. And, with a few small, minor tweaks, they can turn their life around. So let's get to the first one here. This is from the subreddit dating_advice. And the original poster post, do you ever just miss the feeling of being in love? One more time. Do you ever just miss the feeling of being in love? Let's see what they wrote. I think everyone misses the feeling of being in love. I think everybody wants to be in love and feel love and have somebody special to share their life with, no matter what they say. It's just that some people, when you ask them that question, they're not going to tell you how they honestly feel because they're kind of a little angry and bitter about it, and they don't want to come off as thirsty or needy. But the truth of the matter is everybody wants to be loved and wants to feel love. It's a human thing for both men and women to feel. Don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed being single, but I miss the feeling of caring so deeply for someone and the feeling of someone feeling the same way for me in return. And this is posted by the username Samara the Turtle 14. So you must be a woman, ma'am. I don't think a man would publicly write something like this, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did out here in these Reddit forums. Let's get to the comment section and see what people say. Yes, and I worry I'll never experience it again. Well, if that's how you feel things are going to go for your life in the future, if that's the attitude you're going to have, if that's what you're going to put out to the universe, then that's what you're going to get back. If you project that you worry you'll never experience it again, then you will never experience it again, right? But if you put out a positive statement and say, yeah, I really do miss that, and I do hope to find that special someone soon, look at the difference of the attitude, right? Look at the difference regarding how you're coming off to the universe when you're more positive about it, saying, yeah, I do miss the feeling of love, and I look forward to the next time it comes my way, right? Instead of saying, yeah, yes, and I worry I'll never experience it again. Okay, that's a negative way to look at it, right? You're putting out more of a piss-poor, unattractive attitude in the way you wrote it there. So just flip it around and be more positive, and then eventually you will attract that into your life. The same. I fell in love with a girl a few years ago and was great. That feeling, filling your whole being. I don't know, you wrote this funny. Anyway, we broke up, and I don't know. But after that, I haven't felt something similar for anyone. I mean, I overcame that relationship, and I appreciate that girl, but I'm not in love with her anymore. However, dude, run-on sentence. Sometimes I'm afraid about not feeling this again for someone else. Well, to be honest, maybe I'm lazy about knowing new people. If that feeling comes again, that'd be great. If not, at least I know how it feels. Well, this is my opinion about what you're going through. You have not been able to completely remove that emotional attachment from that last person. You haven't worked through it, even though it's been a couple of years. Okay? And the only way to truly work through it is to take some time away from dating, at least a few months after a relationship like this, and then start putting yourself back out there and just meeting women and getting back into the swing of things. And eventually you will come across someone that will just click with you. And like I've always said, attraction is a must and not a choice. So, if a woman is attracted to you from the very beginning, there are very few things you can do wrong to turn her off. So just put yourself back out there and eventually you will find someone, but you need to work through that past emotional attachment, before you can do that. I had one of my best relationships that I've ever been in several years ago. And, after she broke it off with me about 3 years ago, I never thought that someone, like her, would come along again. You always get that feeling, but I moved forward. I met another great woman that I dated for a year. Then she ghosted me out of the blue. Still don't know why to this day. Things, I guess, sometimes happen. Maybe she went back to her ex that she had been with for 10 years before she got with me. Who knows? Who knows? But it was a great relationship for a year, and I enjoyed every moment that we had together. And I was able to experience that because I put myself back out there, even though my previous relationship was probably one of the best ones I've had, you know? And now I'm with this other woman and things are going great. It's still early on. But I didn't even let this last one get to me that I really liked too, that ghosted me, without any notice. Stopped talking to me, stopped hanging out with me, didn't tell me why she stopped talking with me. You just got to chalk it up to, hey, it wasn't meant to be. And then, you just keep on moving forward and eventually you'll find the right one. I feel you. When my girlfriend dumped me 2 years ago, I was devastated. I tried to replace her with every girl I met, and it always ended up in a disaster because you were comparing everyone to your ex, and they weren't, in your eyes, coming anywhere close. And that's not the right way to do it. And you had not removed the emotional attachment to your ex yet. Until you completely remove the emotional attachment to the last person you dated, you're never going to be able to truly give somebody new a fair chance. So that's what's going on here. You guys and gals are getting attached to relationships that weren't meant to be, and it's preventing you from finding someone new that could be an amazing fit for you and you be an amazing fit for them. You know what I mean? Only when I realized that I need to make my decisions regarding partners from a place of abundance, not from desperation, was when things started getting better. Right. You can't come off as thirsty, needy, weak, desperate, or insecure if you're a man. That will repel a woman quicker than anything. Why would a woman want to be with a man that's weaker than her? Ask yourself that. So there isn't any easy way about it, only working on oneself. Yeah, that's what you do. You work on yourself. You get in better shape. You get some better clothes, and you go out there. You should exercise every day, kicking those endorphins. Focus on, becoming the best version of yourself you can become. And eventually, that's going to attract the right person into your life. And your mindset and your attitude is going to be different when you meet women. You're not going to come off as thirsty, weak, needy, desperate, or insecure. You're going to hang out with a woman and you're not going to be attached to any particular outcome. You're going to be like, hey, I'm going to hang out with her one time for an hour or so, see if the chemistry's there. If it is, that's great. We'll continue. If not, hey, no harm, no foul. We spent an hour together or maybe a little less. The chemistry wasn't there. We didn't waste any money or time or anything. We just kind of met in a public place real quick just to see each other. And that didn't happen. So now we're going to move on. But see, when you don't come off as thirsty, when you come off as what's the right word to say it? That you're not attached to the outcome of the situation. Okay? When you're indifferent, that's the word I'm looking for. When you're indifferent to the outcome. And when I say indifferent, I mean, if it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, great. You have no expectations. You're just there to hang out and just be cool and see if the other person, feels as cool about you as you feel about them. It's all about how you show up. And it's not just about how you physically show up. It's how you carry yourself when you show up. Right? I started approaching girls at different events like concerts, festivals, etc., just to learn how to talk to girls I don't know without having any prior connection with them. I have a small social circle, so you're practicing your social skills and you're practicing, asking women out or approaching women. You don't even have to ask women out that you approach. You can be friendly. Maybe walking at the mall or down the street or somewhere, you see a group of women. Hey, ladies, how's it going today? And they may say, hey, cool, how are you doing, right? Or they might say, oh, we're busy, we got to go, right? So what? The fact that you were friendly and cool and down to earth, and you just said, hey, ladies, how's it going today? Hope your day is going well, right? That's it, right? Regardless of what happens, you are practicing your social skills and you're becoming more confident within yourself to just be able to talk to people naturally. That's all. That's all it takes. I learned tons on how to be charismatic, keep up a conversation, flirt, etc. And now I have much better outlook on finding love. If you want, then this guide helped me a lot with the topic. I'm not going to read that or go to that. That's just a promo of something else. The main point being, never give up. There is always hope. Never give up. There's always hope. I'm going to give you a big round of applause for that. Oh, yeah. Never give up hope. Always be positive, and regardless of the outcome, keep your cool. You should not be fazed by the outcome of anything in life. Because if it doesn't work out, hey, there's something better right around the corner, right? You just have to keep on moving forward. Keep on keeping on, right? And when you are not fazed by the outcome, especially when it comes to guys, trying to, get to know a woman and seeing, if the attraction's there. When you're getting to know a woman, guys, the more laid back you are, and if you're not thirsty, and the woman can just pick up you're cool and relaxed and down to earth, right? That's going to make her feel more comfortable and more curious about why you're not more thirsty, right? And that might be the difference that says, okay, yeah, he's cute, but I know a lot of cute guys. What's the difference with this guy? Oh, he's just, very relaxed and down to earth. He's not thirsty or needy. He's just getting to know me for me. He's not pushing anything. He's just cool. That's it. That's all it takes. Sane minus the again. I'm pretty sure I'll never get to experience it in the first place. Well, if you have the attitude that you're never going to experience love in the first place, then it'll never happen, right? That's an insecurity. Maybe you don't like the way you look. Maybe you're overweight. Maybe you feel you don't know how to talk to people. You can change all that. You can get into better shape. You can buy better clothing, okay? You can just, start to talk to people and put your guard down and brush up on your social skills. There are so many things you can do to turn your life around rather than just sit there on the internet and type, I'm pretty sure I'll never get to experience it in the first place. That's a pretty crappy way to look at it. I think you really want it. You're just saying that to probably get attention or something like that. But yeah, it's all about your attitude. Do you think somebody with an attitude like, I'm pretty sure I'll never get to experience it in the first place, is going to be able to attract a good quality person? A good quality person like me that comes across someone with this type of attitude, I'm pretty sure I'll never get to experience it in the first place. I'm going to automatically reject that person because of the way they see themselves. I don't want to be with someone that doesn't love themselves. And this person doesn't love themselves. Okay. All right. We are at 24 minutes. Let me read a few more here. Then we'll get to the next Reddit posting. And then I'm going to take a break after that and come back and read the last three. I have a total of 5 postings to go over tonight. The next one is very, very interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's been half a decade for me since my last relationship, or my last serious relationship, where I did really like the girl. Sucks to go so long without love or a woman who honestly cares about you. Well, what that means to me is that you have not been putting yourself out there. Because if you really wanted to find a good woman for true love and happiness, um, over the last 5 years, you would have been able to find at least one that would have dated you for a while, right? And maybe it could have gone longer. But what it's telling me is that, a lot of you guys and gals, um, after you have a really good relationship that happens to end, you compare everyone else to that last relationship. And, even if that person wanted to be with you, you don't give them the time of day because they're not like your ex was. And that's not a healthy way to look at it. Not a healthy way to look at it, right? So, yeah, 5 years, if you are saying that, it's been half a decade for me since my last serious relationship where I did really like the girl. Sucks to go so long without love or a woman who honestly cares about you. Dude, if you really wanted it again, you would have gone after it. And like I said, maybe you're just stuck on your ex. Maybe you have not been able to remove the emotional attachment after 5 years. I don't know how long you were with her, but the longer you were with her, it takes longer to get over someone the longer you're with them. So I would just work through it and then put yourself out there when you remove the emotional attachment, and you'll find someone. You're just not trying. You're just not trying. Same here, man. I've stayed single for the past 3 years after my last serious relationship. Got really sad, but I used the time to better myself. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Big, huge round of applause! I keep saying that. Work on yourself. Focus on yourself. When you go through a breakup, focus on yourself. Become the best version of yourself you can be. And quite honestly, let's say you need to lose 20 or 30 pounds because you gained some weight, right? And you're like, okay, maybe if I get into better shape, I'll not only feel better, I'll look better, I'll attract more women. It'll only take you a few 2-3 months to do it. Lose the weight, then put yourself back out there and see what happens. I'm living proof of that. It works because your attitude is different. You also look better, you feel better, you smell better, and then get some better clothes, dress better. You guys are just not putting in. You guys are just not really putting in any effort. You're not. You're absolutely not. But yeah, you said you use the time to better yourself. Absolutely. Only been doing one night stand type stuff. Oh, you're hooking up because you're not ready to commit. And I can understand that. I don't really preach that, but I can understand. As long as you're honest with these women and saying, hey, I got out of a relationship years ago. I'm not ready to move on to another relationship. I'm looking for something just more casual and, maybe some friends with benefits. It may lead to something. It may not. If you want to hang out with me, no pressure, then let's do it, right? And then a lot of times, if a woman agrees to that and you two are kind of like exclusively doing this just with each other, sometimes it may turn into a relationship because you removed all the pressure. When you remove all the pressure from getting to know someone, that's what makes the difference. For me, the quickest way to get me to run is to put pressure on, to try to force things. The moment you try to put pressure on me or force things or start complaining too much, right? I don't like complaining at all, but if a woman complains a little, that's fine. If she complains all the time or too much, that's just not going to work. But I think you get the point there. Recently met a girl I actually really liked. Spoke and hung out consistently for the last 3 weeks, and all of a sudden, it is no contact for the past few days. Really bummed out from it right now because I genuinely felt a real connection since I haven't had so much in common with someone like this in a long time. What it's telling me, dude, is you overly pursued her. You basically, I can tell by the way you're writing this, you're really into her. And you probably either told her how into her you are, you probably kept telling her how, wow, we just have such a great, amazing connection. It's just so, wow. Like you practically vomited your feelings on her. And, you got to allow women in the beginning, when you're getting to know a woman, you've got to, allow the woman to roam freely and let her come to you. And don't force it. Just be cool, calm, and collective. If it gets to the point of where she really likes you and she is interested in the commitment, she'll bring it up typically around, the 2 to 3 month period or so. In some cases, it may be a little sooner than 2 months, but typically it happens 2 to 3 months into hanging out with some. Like Coach Corey Wayne says, hang out, have fun, and hook up, right? But here, dude, I think you were like really, really putting her on a pedestal and vomiting your feelings on her, bro. Either that or, she was talking to another guy that she perceived to be a little more attractive and she decided to go with him. So it's one or the other. It could be a combination of both. Heck, the girl asked me out before I did, and it shocked me, just wondering what went wrong. If she did that, then you overly pursued her, bro. You tried to lock her down. You vomited your feelings on her. You put her on a pedestal. I can tell, like I said, by reading your profile, or by reading what you wrote there. Recently, I met a girl I actually really liked, spoke and hung out consistently for the last 3 weeks. And all of a sudden, it is no contact for the past few days. You hung out consistently for the last 3 weeks, so every single day. When you're first getting to know someone, you don't want to see them every single day if it's possible. You want to see them once or twice a week, right? Typically on the weekends, or maybe one weekday night, and then, you spend a weekend day together, and after seeing each other for a little while, maybe go on a weekend getaway, romantic weekend getaway, and see how that goes, right? But you just overdid it, dude, too fast, because, you were missing having someone that made you feel like your ex did. So you projected your fantasy onto this girl, and she picked up on it and probably got her to run. You'll learn by the next time, dude. Trust me, you'll learn to not be thirsty when it comes to women. Got me thinking the same way, and it really sucks. Okay. Yeah, getting your hopes up is the worst, like for me. It'll be one girl every now and then I get pretty hopeful for, and it just doesn't pan out because you guys are coming off weak, needy, desperate, insecure. You guys are men, and you're behaving like you're dependent on a woman for survival, which is not masculine energy. Now, guys, don't get me wrong. Life is a lot better having that special woman, right? I'm not going to lie. But you can't project all that shit the first week or two or the first few times you see the woman. It's too soon. Let it happen naturally. Just be a man. Focus on your purpose, your business, or anything else you want to accomplish outside of a woman, and the woman will just fit in naturally. You guys are just not being yourselves. You're projecting your fantasy onto the woman. Wow, 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 wow. That seems pretty terrible, or really terrible. Maybe she's going through stuff this period. Either way, really sucks to not know what went wrong. No, listen. It doesn't matter. This is what you guys don't understand, and I'm going to get to the next subreddit posting here. What you guys don't understand is it doesn't matter how busy a woman is or what's going on, right? Right? When a woman is really into you, she will move mountains to spend time with you. And when she feels like something is off, she'll pull back. Again, a woman could be super, super busy 7 days a week and only have like half an hour of free time each day. And she'd give you that half an hour of free time each day if she was really into you. So, guys, this is what you don't understand. Women being busy and stuff, or if a woman says, I'm busy all the time, that means she's really not that into you. She's really not that into you, right? Now, it's different for guys. When guys are busy focusing on our purpose, it's not that we don't want to be with the woman. We do. But we want to take care of our business, make our money, and take care of ourselves first before we can take care of her. So when guys, at times have to say, yeah, babe, I can't see you today. I've got this important client. It's a big client. It's big bucks, and I need this time to handle the business. I'll make it up to you on the weekend, and the money I make from this, babe, is going to allow us to just go and have the most amazing time ever, right? So that's different when it comes from a man. But when a woman says she's busy, like all the time, like if she's legitimately busy every now and then, right? Then that's understandable. But if she constantly says that she's busy or that right now it's too busy at the time, no, she's just not interested. That's the bottom line. All right, let's get to the next posting here. But before I get to that, let me check out the chat here. Give me a second. All right, YouTube is clear, Facebook is clear, and D Live is clear. All right, this is from the subreddit Seduction, and the original poster posts a girl's perspective on nice guys. One more time, a girl's perspective on nice guys. Inner game. So she's trying to give guys some inner game regarding what women think about nice guys. I was having drinks with some of my class celebrating the end of semester, and the topic of dating and nice guys came up. Interesting. The consensus among 4 girls was this. She's kind of a nerdy chick to say consensus. To use that nerdy type of word. Very intelligent. I respect that. But wow, the consensus among 4 girls was this. Nice guys are off-putting, especially guys who are doormats for everyone. Yes. What they're saying there, guys, is that if you put a woman on a pedestal, okay, if you suck up to a woman, kiss her ass, if you're weak, needy, desperate, insecure, if she's able to control you, bro, then that's very off-putting. Then you are a doormat. They're being honest here so far. The next one. They hated themselves, felt guilty about it because most of them had been treated like dog shit by bad boys time and time again, and admit that a lot of nice guys are genuinely just nice people, not doormats. Well, here's the thing. So women are going to be more attracted to the bad boy than the nice guy, because the bad boy at least has a spine to be themselves. Probably a good-looking guy, attractive, just, a guy that does bad things, right? Okay? The best place to be is like a hybrid in the middle. You do not need to necessarily be a bad boy and break the law or anything like that. You shouldn't do that. But stand up for yourself when you're talking with a woman and she asks you something. Be honest with her on how you feel. Don't tell her what you think she wants to hear, because she'll be able to pick up on that. And quite frankly, what turns on women the most is when you call them out on their shit, when they know they're a little out of line, when they know they're whining and complaining too much, or something they said is unreasonable. You as the man come in and say, babe, you're being ridiculous. What do you mean, babe? I said, babe, you're being ridiculous. Well, what did I do wrong? Well, babe, I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong. I'm just saying that, if you're going to feel that way about yourself, why would anyone want to hang out with you or myself or anything, right? Just knock that off, babe. Knock that off. You're a cool person. You're a good woman. Start loving yourself, Make it easier for me to love you, right? Or whatever, right? When you call a woman out like that, it's not in a overly powerful way, but it's basically standing up for yourself and being honest, not only with her but with yourself. They made a resolution to only go for guys from now on, but knew they probably wouldn't. I don't know what that means. That doesn't. Are they saying they date women too? I don't know what that means. Admitted that nice guys, overly charming, or psychophantic. What does that mean? What are these words nowadays that I have no idea what they mean? That I have to look up on Google.
Sycophantic.
Sycophantic. Thank you, Google chick.
Sycophantic. Behaving
or done in an obsequious way in order to gain advantage. Obsequious. In the definition, there's a word in there that I have no idea what it means. I can assume what it means.
Obsequious.
Obsequious. Obedient or attentive to an excessive or servile degree. Why can't we say that? So it sounds like these women are saying that these guys are being overly compliant and first of all, overly charming. Charming is one thing, but this sycophantic, whatever it is there, guys that are doing things that they feel women want instead of just being themselves, the ladies say can still turn out to be abusive. It's not an attractive thing because they're not being themselves. Guys who tease, challenge them, and hold their ground are more interesting to be around. Right. Guys that are playful and fun. When a guy teases you, he's attracted to you and he likes you. I know that for a fact. That's how I am. Challenges the woman. Right. When you challenge a woman, it's stating to the woman that, listen, you're hot, you got a beautiful body, I want you, but I'm not going to kiss your ass to get you, right? I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear to get you. I'm going to be honest with you, right? I'll bust your chops a little bit, right? If I disagree with you on something that you say, I will disagree with you respectfully, but I'll still call you out, right? And then I'll hold my ground. Are more interesting to be around, and it's more of a turn on to be around those guys. It is. It absolutely is. They're strangely attracted towards mysterious guys, even if they find them slightly creepy. Well, I'm a little mysterious. And I'm that way on purpose nowadays because it keeps women interested, you know? Like, I'm not completely mysterious. So the woman I'm seeing now, because she's probably watching this, I'm not completely mysterious, but a little bit. I want her to, still feel the fire. I want her to, still do the chasing thingy and all that, right? Because the more she's chasing, the longer it's going to last. Let's see here. Even if they find them slightly creepy, this is where I fail because I have ADHD, so I tend to just spill my guts. Well, yeah, you got to work on that because if you don't have at least a little bit of mystery in the beginning and throughout the relationship, a woman's going to have nothing to wonder about, and she's going to get bored very easily. Once she figures all of you out, yeah, it's a matter of time before she gets bored and falls out of love with you and then leaves you. Don't deliberately not be nice. Just be true to yourself. Yeah, don't be like some guys that teach game per se on the internet say when you first meet a woman, you need to deliberately call her out on something or deliberately not be nice to her about something. And I'm like, you don't need to be deliberate about shit. Just be yourself. But if she does do something that you disagree with, call her out on it. Okay? And if she's cool the entire time, then just kick back and say, wow, I don't know what to say right now. And she might say, why is that? Because you're just really laid back. You're really easy to get along with. And she might say, well, what's so strange about that? Well, there's nothing strange about it. It's quite refreshing to say the least. What do you mean? You haven't dated a woman like this? It's been quite some time that I've encountered someone, so laid back in the last lecture. So I'm enjoying your company. Hope you're enjoying mine. Absolutely, right? That's all. That's all. Just, go with the moment, right? Be true to yourself in the moment. But if she says something or does something that you disagree with, regardless of when it is, early on or down the road in the relationship, just, call her out on it. Be playful about it, right? But stand your ground. But don't be a jerk or a sissy. Be well balanced in the middle. You'll figure out how to do it. It's very unlikely you're going to agree with everything everyone else says if you're being congruent. Right. Women, even if they think they want you to agree with everything they say, they really don't. If you agree with everything a woman says, just to agree to it, she'll pick up on it. It's going to be boring and stale, and it's going to turn her off. It's going to be over. Confidence is really attractive, even though it doesn't necessarily mean anything these days. And there are a lot of people who are, frankly, a lot more confident in themselves than they should be. That's a bunch of crap. Confidence is everything. It's just that you ladies have come across men that appear to be confident initially, but then you tested them and they failed your test, right? Okay? Or they were really confident. They were able to pick you up. They went on a few dates with you. Maybe you ladies had sex with the guy because he was confident and a cool dude, but then maybe he stopped seeing you because he saw something in you he didn't like. I don't know why you ladies would say on one hand confidence is really attractive, and then on the other hand say even though it doesn't necessarily mean anything these days. Well, there are a lot of weak men, and there are a lot of different types of women out there, and that's why I do what I do. I'm trying to help men become better, stronger men. But I get it. I understand why that was written. Sure. And there are a lot of people who are, frankly, a lot more confident in themselves than they should be. How can you even say something like that? It's not up to you to decide how confident each individual person, whether they're a man or a woman, should be. If you don't like their personality, if you think they're overly confident, then you know what? Move on to somebody else that you feel more of a connection with. Yeah, so basically the whole thing is a big fucking farce, and there's no logic to it. Well, that's the first honest thing that, I wouldn't say it's the first honest thing, but it's one of the biggest honest things I've heard about you ladies. Let me read that one more time. Yeah, so basically the whole thing is a big fucking farce, and there's no logic to it. So, for you ladies to say something like there's no logic to it is one of the most honest things I've ever heard from women. I'm going to give you a big round of applause for that. Like I've always said, that's because women are emotional beings and they respond to everything emotionally first based on how they're feeling in the present moment. When you first meet a guy, you're going to know within 3 seconds if you either feel it for him or you don't. If you don't feel that large rush or spark of sexual attraction, it doesn't matter how good everything else is, the conversation, the mental, emotional, spiritual, it's never going to go anywhere. There's no logic to it. There is no logic to it. Do you think there's logic to it for a man? Men think logically first. Women think logically second, right? They're emotional first, right? Do you think there's even logic into dating and making a connection to a man? No. It honestly, even for me, there's no logic to it. Yes, I do know what I like and don't like, and I can identify it pretty quickly when I'm talking with someone or around someone, but I'm not going to know completely, until I would meet someone in person and see how I feel within 3 seconds of being around them and see how they feel about me. There is no logic to it. But a reminder to be confident, not arrogant. Good point. Don't be arrogant. Be confident. Maybe a little cocky, playful, funny. That's a good middle ground. Okay? Don't be a big freaking sissy. Don't be an arrogant, pompous ass. Be a little cocky, playful, funny, charming guy, right? Cool, laid back, and not attached to any particular outcome. And you're going to have your best shot. That's just the way it goes. To be slightly mysterious by not revealing your hand immediately. Yeah, guys, you cannot sit there and vomit everything out to the woman immediately and expect her to just say, well, you just basically told me your life story in 20 minutes, and now I'm supposed to drop my panties for you, big boy? That's not the way it works. No. Listen, here's the thing. What people should focus on the most immediately is the physical attraction. Because here's the thing. Regardless of how good the mental, emotional, and spiritual is, let's say that's perfect and the sex and the intimacy is not good, then it's not going to work out. And that's why many women nowadays, many men and women don't have a problem, making out and having sex for a second date, even if they want more than that, because they want to see if that sexual chemistry is there to even want to invest more into the mental, emotional, and spiritual. But there are some women that flip it around. They're like, well, I'm not just looking for sex. I want the mental, emotional, and spiritual, and I, don't want to get that close with somebody intimately until the mental, emotional, and spiritual, until I know that those other three things are there. Well, with most people nowadays, they won't even invest emotion, or the mental or the spiritual. They won't even invest getting to know you in any other way until they know the sexual compatibility is there. And it's not a bad thing. In my opinion, it's actually probably the best thing you can do. It's the best thing you can do. Anyway. And to stand up for yourself and not be a doormat. Big round of applause! Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. We are at 52 minutes. I'm not going to read any of the comments in the comments section because I've read this before, and I really just want to focus my thoughts regarding what these women were saying here. And plus, the first several responses really didn't bring any more value when I was going over this posting, before I decided to use it for the show. So we're going to just leave it at that. I'm going to head on back over to full screen and cue up some royalty-free music and step away for a quick break. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. So, got one. Okay. Let's see. That's 3. Just need one more. One more. All right, folks. Music is all queued up. Before I go on break, here's what's coming up after the break. We have 3 more crazy dating stories to go over. The first one is from the subreddit dating, and it's titled, Ghosted After 2 Months and It Hurts. I Need Advice. Well, we're going to give you some and everyone else on how to handle this. After that, we're going to head over to the subreddit Dating Over 30, and the original poster posts, Splitting the Bill Every Time. And this is a woman. I believe it was a woman when I read this, questioning this. Yep. Where the guy wanted her to split the bill every time. And they've been dating for a while. I'll share more when we get back. I don't want to spoil it. Very interesting, right? And then we're going to wrap up the show by sticking in the subreddit Dating Over 30 and the original poster post, Things are progressing with 2 different women. How can I handle this in the best way possible? I think most guys, and even gals too, have been in the situation where maybe they were on a dating app and they met 2 great prospects at the same time. This actually happened to me one time a while ago in the past. And they were both really, really good women, but one of them was a little more physically attracted than the other one, right? So I started focusing more energy on the one that was more physically attractive, right? This was early on in the first couple of weeks, right? And at that point, the one that was more physically attractive was just starting to become more controlling and needy, overly needy and stuff, right? So guess what? I hate to admit it, I actually ghosted her and ended up dating the one that was a little less physically attractive according to society standards, but ended up becoming very attractive to me, and it ended up being a great relationship. So this guy saying, things are progressing with 2 different women. How can I handle this in the best way possible? So you got 2 women you're dating at the same time, and they both like you, and maybe you're banging them both, and the sex is great. And yeah, dude, it's a tough situation, right? And I typically would never put myself in that situation. It just happened to me one time that I met a couple women at the same time, and it was a couple of first dates in the same weekend. Both of them wanted to see me again, and I wanted to just figure out the right one, right? And then the one that I thought wasn't going to be the one was the one, right? So we'll talk about that and the rest of them after I return from the break. So stick around! Stick around! Stick around! We'll be right we're back, we are back, and I am fired up. I'm so fired up. I'm fired up beyond belief. Oh yeah. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready! Yeah, baby! Wap, wa-da-da, wa-da-da. Wa-da-da, wap, ba-da-da, ba-da-da. Hit it! Here we go! Oh yeah. Let me get situated here. Yeah. Yeah. Lower the music, Eli, so everyone can hear you. Lower the music, boss! Yeah. I feel fantastic, and I hope you feel fantastic as well. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on the Coach Eli Television Network, primarily broadcasting live on YouTube at youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. We're also simulcasting live on Facebook and D Live. If you are on Facebook and D Live and you would like to get more than just these in-studio live stream simulcasts, you're going to have to come on over to YouTube. And on YouTube, you will get almost daily mobile live streams where I engage with you folks and answer any questions you have and tackle a different topic every single day that will help you get a better grip on your life. I also have tons of pre-recorded content on YouTube and much more pre-recorded content coming soon in the highest quality at 4K, 60 frames per second. Stay tuned for that. If you want even more of Coach Eli, I have a monetized channel on YouTube. You can become a channel member for as little as $4.99 per month or as much as $99.99 per month, which is a super fan sponsor package. And there are 3 other packages in between. All five membership packages get you the exact same thing. It's just up to you how much you would like to donate each month to sponsor the channel. Additionally, if you'd like to make a one-time donation, in the YouTube chat, Nightbot is sharing my PayPal and Cash App links. Those links are also shared on Facebook as well. And if you're on DY, just come on over to YouTube at youtube.com/Life Coach Eli, or just search Coach Eli, Elias Melas. You'll find the channel with over 4K subs, and you can find the links to my PayPal and Cash App in the chat every 7 minutes, shared by Nightbot, or in the description section. Donations are not required, but they are greatly appreciated. All right. So tonight we're talking about Crazy Dating Stories Volume 1, and I'm going to be doing these Crazy Dating Story live streams on any given day where I have a little more time and energy on top of the mobile streams that I do. So that's what we've been doing. So let's get back to more of these crazy dating stories, and then I'm going to wrap it up and relax and enjoy the rest of my night, drama-free, peaceful, sitting down on my couch, and maybe catching up on some shows and stuff, and yeah, that's about it. I'm sorry, I just got a text message from behind the scenes. I got a little distracted. All right, let's get right back to the browser screen, and we are going to get to the next crazy dating story in the Reddit postings here. Where am I? Oh, there I am. All right, this is from the subreddit dating. And the original poster states, "Ghosted after 2 months and it hurts. I need advice." All right. I've 27 female, so it's a 27 female that wrote this. "I've been seeing a guy, 28 male, 1 to 2 times a week for the last 2 months, and things seem to be going great. I really liked him. He seemed to like me. We went on dates, had great sex, and all seemed fine." Anyway, it's now been almost a week since I heard from him, since we last saw each other on Saturday night, which is the longest we've gone without speaking. I know I could text him first, but on Saturday, I told him we should hang out this week, so he knows I'm interested. We also had unprotected sex for the first time on Saturday, so now I'm wondering if that had anything to do with it. Oh, I can tell you that had everything to do with it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'll get to that in just a second. Oh, boy, oh, boy. I just needed to vent. I understand being ghosted after a date or two, but to ghost someone after like 10 dates is just so messed up and it hurts. My stomach has literally been in knots. Ugh. All right. Edit, I texted him first just now. Okay, ma'am. Well, I think the kicker there is where you said, we also had unprotected sex for the first time on Saturday, so now I'm wondering if that had anything to do with it. Oh, yeah. So here's the thing. Okay, when you're 27 and 28, you're still much younger. And at that age, or younger age, I mean, unprotected sex is a big deal at any age. But, you know, for people as they get older, as guys and gals get older, they stop worrying about certain things. They stop worrying about pregnancy. Guys are more ready to handle pregnancy if it happens. Or as you get older, you're more mature and you're going to talk about, you know, things with the woman. You know, are you still able to get pregnant? Are you clean disease free? You know, I want to get closer to you and feel it naturally, but I just want us to be safe and trust each other, and I don't want anything unexpected to happen, right? But at this age, right, sometimes you just don't even think about it, right? So what I think happened here is that, you know, they never talked about whether this woman was on birth control or not. You know, they should be talking about diseases and stuff like that too, but a lot of times, you know, people don't worry about that. I think the biggest worry for a guy is unexpected pregnancy, right? And so maybe the time where you had unprotected sex, maybe you told him that you weren't on birth control or just pull out and everything will be okay, right? And maybe what happened was maybe, you know, he did pull out, but maybe he leaked a little in there and he's afraid he knocked you up or something like that. I'm thinking that that's what happened, right? And he's probably thinking that way because, okay, now it's like, I don't want to be anywhere near this woman. What if she's pregnant? Well, dude, here's the truth of the matter. If you got her pregnant, she knows who you are. She'll hunt you down if she has the kid, and she'll still collect that child support. That's what I think happened here. But give me a second here. Give me a second here. Just 1 second. Give me 1 second here. I've just got to take care of something real quick. Just give me a second. I'm sorry about that, folks. Sorry about that, folks. I got a text message from one of my friends behind the scenes. All right, all good. So that's what I think happened here. I think this guy fears that he made a mistake having unprotected sex. Maybe you told him you weren't on birth control, or even if you did, maybe he's just freaking out about that. So Yeah, I mean, if he ghosts you, he ghosts you. I mean, there's nothing you can really do about it. I mean, you could try to go to his place if you know where he lives, and that'd be kind of stalking him. There's really not much you can do. Let's see what the chat said there. If it was me, I would send one more text just so you are sure there isn't a miscommunication, but then delete his info and chat history and immediately get back to communicating with other people. At that point, you will have done your due diligence. No one's addressing the unprotected sex thing. Okay. Let's see if they do further down. Well said, hence my repeat. One more carefully crafted message like, hey, how? No, I'm not even going to read that. No, it's a waste of time. What the hell? All okay at ULOL. If someone sent me that, I'd be more likely to ghost them. Who talks like that? Yeah, well, that's what the last person wrote up there. Nah, I wouldn't write that. Just shortened it for brevity. She can compose in her own voice. My words were just a suggestive guide. Jesus Christ, people are ridiculous. Your suggestion was fine. Well, she's already tried that. It's just not. He's just freaking out about the unprotected sex. Let's see. This chick, Kate in the Woods, writes, I would text him, regardless of whatever reason he has for not reaching out, regardless of you not wanting to chase him, you deserve to know what's going on and where you stand with him. Don't be super upfront and say something like, I guess it is over. He could have a valid reason for why he hasn't reached out. It's kind of like one of those situations where, look, if you're going to have unprotected sex with a woman, that's a pretty intense thing that you should only do with a woman that you really care for. Like if he was dating her for a couple of weeks and they started out with condoms and then they went raw after that, that's a pretty big thing. And for him to skip out after the first time they go raw, that speaks for itself. None of you are even talking about this. Okay? We're all adults here. Let's communicate like adults. I'm not even going to read this because they're not even addressing the actual situation. They're all saying, I suppose you can text him. Girl never want to be the one pursuing a man, so they never do that. No, they should be pursuing the guy. She's doing the right thing, but she's already tried enough. They always got this mentality that they're the prize, and they know that whoever messages the other first is in a position of weakness, so they won't do this. And sometimes it backfires like here. No, you guys are misunderstanding this. Okay, the woman, should reach out to the guy first, 70 to 80% of the time. Okay, and that's because the relationship has to be her idea for it to be sustainable. Okay, you guys are misunderstanding this. Like these people are so young here, and they don't even understand that they missed the one line. He ghosted me after we had unprotected sex for the first time. Let's see if anyone even says that. Let's see. Well, none of them do. Let's see. They're not even. I'm scrolling through this, looking to see if anyone addressed the actual issue. Nope. Had a guy ghost me after 2.5 years, found out 8 months later from a friend that he just had a baby and married the girl. A phone call would have been nice. You know what? I'm not even going to go. I'll read one more here, and then I'm going to move on to the next one, because no one's addressing the actual issue. You want to make it illegal to stop talking to people when one loses interest in casual dating? Well, they were dating to get to know each other. I wouldn't consider it casual dating. It's just dating, right? If it was casual dating, they would have both talked about it, and she would not be responding the way she's responding, and she may not have even had unprotected sex with him, right? Ghosting is just another way to say I'm not interested anymore. There is only one meaning. Why do you need to read or hear the words to understand? everything was going great until the first time they had unprotected sex, that he ghosts her. Are you folks just not paying attention? Like, this is how lost these people are. This is why I come in here. I'm going to have to, respond in this forum and make these people aware of where the real issue is at, because this woman is not getting good advice here. Not getting good advice. Anyway, let's go to the next subreddit there. Before we get to that, let me check out the chat here real quick. Give me just 1 second, folks. Give me just a second here. Give me just a second here, folks. Just a second here. All right. My apologies, folks. All right. All right, so let's get to the next subreddit over here, and this is from the subreddit Dating Over 30. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. Splitting the bill every time is what the original poster wrote. And the original poster writes, okay, guys, I'm a little torn over this one. I've been dating this guy for a while now, 2 months, and he always asks for a split bill when we go on dates. I really like him. He's sweet, considerate, and while we do have some differences, we've been very communicative with each other and haven't had any issues so far that we couldn't handle amicably and well. Everything is great minus this one thing. He always splits the bill. That's not a good thing, right? And, if you're dating a woman for 2 months and you haven't taken her out on a date and paid for the date or taken her out on a romantic weekend getaway and paid for it, then you're just really not into it. You're really not into it. Ma'am, I got your text behind the scenes. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Sorry, folks. I'm getting some messages from some of my friends and people I care for behind the scenes, and they're pretty interesting. So yeah, like I was saying, the guy should, if he really likes her and really wants to get to know her, he should have had no problem paying for some of the dates or most of the dates. This is just, I don't know. Let's see. Let's read further. We're always paying separately, and whoever is serving us or at the cash desk always shoots me a look like poor girl type thing. He splits the cost and asks for 2 separate bills, even if it is just $10 each. Wow. I mean, wow. This dude has some issues. I don't mind paying for my portion and taking turns paying. I never order anything I can't personally afford. We make it around the same amount, 50K range, and I get fed up sometimes and just pay the entire bill myself. Why is that? Yeah, to the lady behind the scenes that just sent me that message, I will explain to you more when we talk. I'll be going off the air in about 30 to 40 minutes or so. So I'll explain to you behind the scenes. It's all good. Nothing to worry about, all right? Jesus, man, Jesus. Let's see. I've never been in this situation before. Do I bring it up? Absolutely. I bring it up. I would just say, you know what? This kind of more so feels like a friendship than a relationship. If he asks why, I would say, well, it just kind of feels that way. I wouldn't even tell him it's because, of the split bill thing. Let him figure it out on his own. That's all. Let him figure it out on his own. Let's see. And I don't fully know his financial situation, so maybe he can't afford to pay for me and him. But I'm also just so turned off by splitting of the bill. Well, you should be. You absolutely should be. I would be okay with taking turns for paying the bills, but the splitting is just so cringy. My friends are all repulsed by the fact that he doesn't offer to pay for me and think I should dump him. Thoughts? I agree. I agree. I absolutely agree. You should dump him. And I talk with him first and say, this is just not working out for me. It kind of feels like, we're more in a platonic friendship, and I'm looking for something more, romantic and something more serious. And he might say, well, what is it? Is it the money? Is it splitting the bill every time? Well, yeah, I'm not saying I can't pay my part, but I just don't feel like I'm in a relationship or getting to know you for a relationship. Yeah, I would absolutely, talk with him, and then if it doesn't work out, then you dump him. You don't need to put up with this stuff. Let's read what the chat had to say. Due to the number of rule-breaking comments centered around the genders, bashing each other by calling each other Rule 5 breaking subnames, this post has been locked. Okay, by a mod. All right. So I typically alternate with close friends. Sometimes we split. We just move into a natural groove. One friend and I talked about it after a couple months of knowing each other because I wanted to make sure he was comfortable with how we approached paying our takeout bills. We were similar, and that was that. Okay. Just say, hey, whenever we go out to eat, you always ask to split. Is there a reason? It is completely fine, but it is just more convenient if we took turns paying. Is this something you're comfortable with? I mean, should you even have to ask? Look, if a guy really likes a woman, he's going to take her out, and pay at least the first few times before he would expect her to pay. I'm the kind of guy, I don't have a problem paying 70 to 80% of the time, or even more than that. But it all depends on the woman. Is she with me because she's really into me, or is she just with me for my money? And you can typically tell when a woman is totally into you for the right reasons because of how affectionate she is and how consistent she is with you. So I think this guy is just not ready for a real relationship, and maybe he just doesn't have a lot of money and he wants to split it with you, or maybe it's his way of assuring himself that he doesn't lose any money if you break up with him. It's an insecurity, in my opinion. But yeah, I wouldn't date somebody after 2 months if they want to split the bill every single time. That's platonic. I mean, come on now. So, I'm beginning to think that my friend group is the exception. We always calculate who owes what to the nearest 50 cents and sometimes down to the cent. And we each pay exactly what we owe every time. This is mainly when there's a group of us. Okay. Me and my friends do this too. One person pays and we'll Zelle or Venmo that person. But splitting the check down the middle for dates, especially after 2 months, that's a little cringy, and the dude will come off as cheap. I don't know. That's my 2 cents. Anyway. Yeah, basically, this dude is really just not, he's just not a guy that's ready to date someone. And he has some trust issues, and maybe he's been taken advantage of in the past. Maybe he doesn't have a lot of extra money left over for dating. He's just not in a good position to date. So, quite honestly, if I was the woman here, I would suggest that, hey, it's time to move on from this guy. This is just kind of too strange for me. So, anyway, folks, I'm actually going to just skip the very last posting and save that for the next show because I have some things I got to take care of. And I just got a text message from one of my friends behind the scenes, and I need to talk with them real quick. So I'm going to wrap up this show right now and be back tomorrow for another Walking with Purpose stream. And I'll probably do a volume 2 tomorrow night. All right, folks, with that being said, have yourselves a great night. I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye. Bye.